Hello, welcome to Aquarium Thoughts. I'm Dave. If you like my content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and feed that bell. That way you can catch all the new content that I put out. Today I'm standing out in the back of my place, and right now I'm working on my next project, which is basically installing a Dragonfruit trellis. Basically, one of my latest videos, I talked about my auto water change system that I have on my fish trough back here. And basically, it's going to have some runoff water. So what I'm going to use that water for is to actually water the dragonfruit. Of course, my water change system is running through the whole house water filter. So it's going to be filtered water, and then it's going to go into my little pond. And then the water is going to run off and feed the dragonfruit with water to basically water it. So it's a similar system to how I used to run my 80-gallon tank on the outside when I had that running, where I was actually feeding the overflow into some plants. Same principle. I'm going to get some PVC. I'm going to make a little square on the bottom where the dragonfruit's planted, and all the water's going to go into the ground there and water the plants. Hoping that works out well. I have to do some testing, of course, when I'm having it run to make sure all the water is flowing out properly. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and dig the hole right here and get some good soil in there. And then, of course, stick this a little bit down into it. What this trellis is, it has a little cinder block on the bottom that's attached to a post right here. And then it has a little square topping. That way, what's going to happen is the dragonfruit's going to go up the posts, and this can come out through the hole right here and then kind of branch out. So it'll look like a little tree back here, and hopefully grow some good dragon fruits, which I do have arriving on Tuesday. Of course, it's going to be in this video as well, me actually planting them. So it's going to be arrived way before this video is actually published to YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and start digging my hole and get that going. Thanks. Okay, so I have the drainage pipe basically buried underneath this dirt right here that leads to the Dragonfruit planter. That way I could constantly get the Dragonfruit watered. Now all I have to do is now test it just to make sure it's not going to overflow the tank. Because I'm sure the drainage is going to be a little bit different than what it was before. All I was doing was dumping all the water in front of the pond, which at least this way it does take it away from the pond and actually puts it to use by watering my Dragonfruit. So let me go ahead and test it and see how it goes. Now keep in mind, I'm just going to be running for 45 seconds. Keep in mind, I do run the auto water change system every night, every morning, for about 40 seconds, which is about a gallon or 2 gallons of water. And this is just to make sure that this doesn't overflow. So I'm running it a little bit longer than what I normally do, just to be on the safe side. So let's go ahead and test it. Okay, so right now I'm going to go ahead and turn on the water for 40 seconds. That's another lovely thing about this beehive system. I can actually set it to actually run however long I want it, whether it be like 15 seconds, 45 seconds, 5 minutes. It's one of the added plus. It's not just 1 minute intervals or 5 minute intervals. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this water on for 45 seconds and see how it goes. Just to make sure it doesn't overflow. And there we go. And you can probably see the water flowing a little bit right in that area right there. That's where the water comes out. And my concern is going to be this area right here where the ledge is, just to make sure it doesn't overflow that. It is kind of leaning more on that side just by a little bit, so we'll see how it goes. And after this I'm probably going to run a second test just to be certain. So right now it has 15 seconds to go. And it seems like it's getting nowhere near the edge. I mean, the water is rising a little bit, but I do have the drain going, and I'll go ahead and show you that in a second after I make sure that this does stop. Oh, okay, the water stopped, and we are fine over there. It's not overflowing over there. And of course you have the drain right there. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here. And you do have the drain right there, which it is not completely overrun with water. So there you have it. It's running fine. It's exactly where it needs to be. Okay, so test 1 worked fine. This is just not even a minute, maybe a minute, 2 minutes after I ran the first test. I'm going to run this test one more time and see how it goes, just to be really certain that it's not going to overflow. So I'm actually going to run it for another 45 seconds. And this will definitely tell me if it's going to be definitely going to have a problem or not. So far so good. I don't see any issues. Now I have the water running one more time. Another 45 seconds. That's another couple gallons. My water flow on this hose is set at 3.1 gallons per minute, and I only have it for 45 seconds, so that's about a couple gallons each time I run it for 40 seconds. And this is actually 45 seconds. And so forth, no overflowing. That's kind of getting close right now on the edge down there, but it's not close enough to say it's going to overflow. Let me see how many seconds are left here, and that's going to be it, and the water should be turning off in a second there. So I ran this 2 tests back to back, and I have no overflowing, so we are definitely all good there. So I received my Dragonfruit cuttings in the mail right here, and I'm going to go ahead and open this up and get them planted for you. For me, basically, but... Okay. Should have 4, and I have 4. Ooh. Careful of the thorns. Okay, so I got 1 right here. These are going to be sugar Dragonfruit. I think it's S8. I think that's what the name is. And I do have 4 of them in here, basically for each of the corners. Basically that way they could grow up the trellis right here, and then eventually one day they get to the top, they could branch out. Ooh, this is a nice thick one right here. Okay. I got 4 of them. I'm going to go ahead and do the planting right now. And yep, it's the sugar Dragonfruit, the S8. Get some gloves on, that way my hands don't get too dirty. And then all I have to do is just kind of grab them, figure out where I'm going to place them, how am I going to place them. And I think this one's going to be right here. They got a little area right here. Plant them in. And what I'm going to also do is I'm going to get these tied down. That way they don't fall over. And that way they can root into the ground and root into wherever they want to root into. So that's one. And put this one over here. Just like so. Not that you can see it because it's behind the post. And I'm going to move over to this side. Take this one, put it right here. Dig a little hole right there, not too deep. And just have it going like this. And let me just at least put it this way. And then finally this piece right here, which I'm going to put on this side of the post right here. So I have my 4 dragon fruit cuttings all where they're supposed to be, one on this side, and that side, and that side. Now all I need to do is get the wrapping, and I'm going to wrap it around the post. So let me go grab that. So I got this, which is just some kind of tape. I think it's mainly for plants. I forget the name of it. I'll look it up on my Amazon orders and tell you exactly what it is in the description below. But it's just basically, it's a stretchy one. Allows me to tie things around posts like this, and it's pretty easy to use. Pretty easy just to pull apart. My only problem is I don't like the orange. It's a little too bright for me. Although sitting in the sun will bleach out a little bit, so it doesn't really bother me too much. Make sure these are planted in there decently. Now I am going to be putting rocks on top of this as well to give it a little bit added layer. That way I don't get many creatures digging into this too much. I don't care if they dig over here, but I just don't want them digging in here. So I'm going to be putting some pebbles on there, which will also help the evaporation of any waters that are in there. Just make sure these are all lined up how I want them to be. And then just take this and wrap it around. And then just tie it so it's nice and sturdy. That way it's not going to budge too much, but not too tight. Although these are pretty stretchy, so I don't have too much of worry there. So now all I need to do is grab the pebbles and fill this in with the pebbles. And now I got these decorative pea pebbles. I forgot what I was using them for. I use for the toppings of the plants in my pond. They're potted plants, so I just put a layer of pea pebbles on there. But this is some extras I have, so all I'm going to do is just kind of line it into this little area right here. That way give them a little bit better protection. Nice, just a small little layer here. Help protect from digging, as well as help protect from weeds. That way, hopefully I don't get too many weeds in here. I really don't want to spend my time weeding this if I don't have to. And that way it kind of gives it a better look. So there we have it. It's nice and covered, and I got them attached to the pole right here. Well, and they should grow up all around there. Up, and then of course when it reaches the top I'll make it go across and branch over. That way it looks like a tiny little dragon fruit tree. So that is another project done. I have my dragon fruit cuttings planted in. I have it the water coming out of the overflow on my pond right into this little area right here. That way it ensures to make sure it's all nicely watered. And that's gonna be it for that project.
Now keep in mind, I do have a special promo code for all my viewers on aquariumthoughts.com, so definitely check out my store at aquariumthoughts.com, and for 15% off, use promo code multitank, and that's good until the end of July right now. Each month I'm probably going to have some kind of special promo code, so keep an eye out for that on my upcoming videos as well, so definitely check that out. And as usual, keep researching, keep learning, and have a great day. And thank you for watching. And if you like this video, make sure you do hit that thumbs up.